Welcome to the game again. All I do is stare.
Hey, today I wanted to record this video about Tati and James Charles scandal. I usually don't even care about such videos and such content as drama between two people. I genuinely find it stupid. I don't even understand why this is happening, but sometimes I like to analyze people's behavior and thoughts. This is one of these scandals that I was really interested in. If you don't know, Tati, this YouTuber, that beauty guru, uploaded a video about exposing another beauty guru, James Charles. Everybody's talking about it, how James is losing subs and Tati is gaining subs, and I just wanted to share some of my thoughts about that, and not necessarily to shame somebody, to tell you who to subscribe and who to unsubscribe. I'm not interested in this shit. And the reason to make this video is not even Tati's video. It's more of people's reaction to that. It's more of how people actually think about James now and what they think about Tati. And I personally, I disagree with people who protect James too much, and yet I disagree with people who worship Tati too much, because there was a phase in my life when I got into YouTube beauty side, when I suddenly got into makeup, how to do it and all, and I subscribed to some people and then I unsubscribed from them, and Tati was one of the people that I was interested in first, but then I got pretty bored of her on the second day. Seriously, I just don't like Tati. To me, her content is pretty boring. I'm not saying that she's a bad person or that she's a bad YouTuber, like who am I to say this? I'm just saying that this is personally my view. To me, she's kind of boring. And that wasn't the only problem I had with her. Also, to me, she's kind of fake. I don't want to say that she is actually fake. No, this is just how I see her behavior, her, I don't know, manner of speech, her content. To me, it seems like she's trying so hard to be likable and kind and all. I don't know. It seems that she values people's opinions on her so much that she's kind of faking it. That's the impression I get. It doesn't mean that that's actually who she is. That's just what I get, and I don't like it. When I watch her videos, I feel fooled and manipulated. I don't know. I'm not saying that if a person is nice, they have to be manipulative and lying because kind people don't exist. No. It's just that something about her mimics, I don't know, her manner of speech makes me feel that. I am subscribed to some nice people that don't appear to be fake to me. And she is one of people that I don't trust. And in that sense, I also don't like James, because James also is pretty fake to me. Again, probably not only to me, because I think he has actual scripts to all of his videos, to the point of even have scripted jokes. I just saw some of his behind scenes where he repeated some lines over, it feels like 1,000 times. It's just, why are you so extra? It feels like many beauty gurus are being extra. Like when I am on YouTube and I am searching for people to subscribe to, I want them to be relatable, I want them to be real, maybe sometimes ugly, sick, making mistakes, making unfunny jokes time to time, whatever. I'm just looking for a relatable and just normal person. I am not looking for some Disney princess, which Tati appears to be, nor am I looking for some, I don't know, businessman, whatever James is aiming to be. They both seem fake to me, okay? But my problem is that everybody, for some reason, is siding with Tati here. Everybody likes her so much to the point of worshipping her, and I truly don't understand why. So I was watching her video, and I actually watched it, but as a person who wasn't really involved in all this drama, and I don't know all the stories that she was talking about, I was kind of lost. And I will appreciate you guys clarifying some things to me, because I might be wrong. I'm not saying that I am correct about every statement I am about to make here, but and maybe already have made, but this is what I am as a kind of a newcomer to her channel seeing, and this is how I pursue her video. So yeah, everything actually started over the pills, right? Like James was promoting some other company's pills and not his friends who actually did so much to him, like helped with his career and all that stuff. So my first problem with people accusing James and worshipping Tati is you have to understand that all people are different and they see things differently from you. Tati might appear as a selfless and kind person to you, and you feel like, oh, she did so much for him and he didn't repay her. And you might be right, and this is what I feel too. What I'm saying is, in Tati's shoes, I would probably end this relationship sooner or later, probably sooner than her too, because to me it's unhealthy. But I feel like she also has like a personal grudge against him just because he didn't like repay her for all she has done. She felt like she deserved something and he didn't give her that something. And that's not necessarily bad. No, it's not bad at all actually, but it's just that she doesn't really admit that. She made that video on her story where she was crying and saying that she felt betrayed because he promoted somebody else's product and he didn't want to promote her product, despite her promoting all his products and his channel on several occasions. But then she goes on creating a video where he appears to be a villain, and that's something I don't appreciate, and I feel it was uncalled for, and I don't understand why did she even do that. You know, if she wanted to stop being associated with his name and stop being friends with him at all, she could just say that on Twitter or even in the video. Like, she didn't have to bring up so much shit, because it's obvious that she's had enough. She never really liked him for who he was. She always wanted to change him. That's what, like, that's the feeling I get from her. She says that a few times in her video that she didn't like his attitude, she didn't like how he acted, but she was hoping he will change, but that never happened. What she did was creating a video where she only was speaking about how she was good to him, so bringing up everything good she has done, and then bringing up everything bad he has done, which makes this video kind of manipulative to your audience. I'm sorry, but you appear to be that white sheep that didn't do anything wrong in her entire life, and James appears to be like devil, and it's understandable, he's not the best person, but like, do you have to? So she speaks a few times about some texts and some situations, and all you get is her bare words for that. And I'm sorry, I maybe sound like a cynical and a bad human being, but like, as a person who is not even subscribed to you, and even if I was, don't get me wrong, you're not providing any evidence to what you're saying. Like, you're accusing a person for some shady, like really bad stuff, and you're not providing any evidence to that. You are basically sending your audience to get him to like rip his channel apart for reasons that are not really clear and stated clearly in the video. I might, as I said, not get something. Maybe some of these situations were already addressed even by James too and proven to be correct. Just correct me if I am wrong. Maybe they are and they were, but just looking at this video you might not understand anything actually, because there are a few people besides for James and Tati involved there, and at some point you're like, what the fuck is going on? She was basically ready to forgive everything as long as he would be a nice friend to her, let's be honest, because she did so before, and now when that happened with the pills she suddenly snapped. Like, to be honest, if he was a nice friend and he kept promoting your products and he kept helping you, would you just close your eyes on everything listed in this video? I'm just questioning that, because to me it's like it affected Tati so much, to the point that where she recorded that video where she was crying on her story on Instagram. And it feels like what really hurt her is the fact that he didn't repay her back, that he wasn't a nice friend to her, not exactly all the problems she's about to list in the video. So that's why I find like half or even more of this video pointless and just antagonizing James, because you just dislike him. I can hear she's been so bitter about him as a person, and I understand that. Believe me, I met people like this too. Like, I may be young, but I know a few people that are selfish, you know? There are people in this world that will be selfish no matter what you do. It's just a part of their character. You won't get anything from blaming them for that, because they are arrogant. I don't know, they just don't understand your feelings so well, because they are, well, selfish. They care about their own feelings more than yours. And it sucks, but it's not exactly out of bad intentions. It's just what kind of person he is. And I know some of these people are genuinely trying to make it up for their precious people, for their friends and family, but they just can't, because they're kind of sociopathic about it. Those people also suffer, by the way. They suffer from having like pretty unhealthy relationship with people. Most of the times they don't even have real friends, because they fail to even realize what they're doing wrong. I would like to help some of these people, but at some point I understand that being in a relationship with these people is fucking unhealthy. The moment you see a person being so selfish, they don't care about you as much as you do about them, this is probably an unhealthy relationship. You just need to end it and not hope for them to grow up and shit like Tati says. They might change eventually, but only when they recognize their flaws, and only when they actually are ready and when they want to change. If they are fine with being what they are, you can't do anything about it. You can't really blame people for not like thanking you enough or repaying you back enough. You can't. It's just not exactly, they just don't owe you that. I don't know, maybe you feel like that Stockholm Syndrome victim that thinks that you can change every bad boy into a good one, which is also not a nice thing. That Gabriel person, as far as I can see, a lot of people hates him. I don't know why. I'm not really familiar with him. As I said, if you're interested, if you are even watching this video, please feel free to clarify anything for me, because I'm kind of interested in what the fuck happened and nobody can really explain. So they are friends with James, I think. I think they are. And I think this Gabriel person participates, kind of gets involved in this scandal on a few occasions, because he has to say something about this whole deal time to time. But yeah, it makes sense, because in some of the moments that Tati is about to bring up, he participated there too. Like, he was a witness, and you see, their stories contradict each other. Each of them have their own truth. That's another reason why I can't really trust Tati fully. First, she said she doesn't regret saying that and talking about that online. Now she says, well, but here's my excuse, we have the access to technology. I'm not sure what she's trying to say here, because honestly, I can never really blame influencers for sometimes snapping and, you know, just uploading stuff like that video where she was emotional, all about those pills. Like, it's normal. She's a human being, you know that? And she's a YouTuber too. Like, aren't you subscribed to her because you can relate to her because she's a human being and not just like some business company or a celebrity in Hollywood? They are more down-to-earth people, and that's exactly what I personally like about them. So I'm not sure why people are even shading her for that, for feeling what she was feeling. And many people said that she was overreacting. I completely disagree with that. Like, no, I would feel hurt too, I know that, because if I did as much as she did for James, and he just, like, promoted her product once, I think, then it kind of sucks. But at the same time, I feel like James is, most of the times, not really shady or, like, snaky, but more just dumb. He just doesn't realize many things yet, and that's kind of alright, kind of shitty, I understand. But I'm just saying, I don't feel like he is so bad as people make him out to be, at least. And anyways, what I was trying to say is that I feel like she reacted absolutely normally, like any human being would. And she, in the end of the day, she didn't even call nobody's name. Like, even if people guessed that she was talking about James, it was still just a guess, right? Nobody could confirm it nor deny it, so let it be. Why are you even shitting on her for that?
Obviously, so many of you guys understand that this is more than just a sponsored post. It has layers. There's so much going on with James Charles right now that I do not support, that I do not agree with. Fame, power, and a fat bank account will change almost anything.
And here she begins her manipulation, in my opinion. I'm sorry, I might be a little rough on her, but like, you start making accusations without any basis. You just said that he's a spoiled brat, basically, right? That he got spoiled by money and that's why he's a bad person and stuff like this. So your argument doesn't have any basis, but you just start shitting on another human being because of your own disagreement with him and his ways of doing things. This is not cool. As I said in this video, she looks so innocent, so hurt, you know, and this James person just looks like fucking Satan. I don't appreciate doing these things. I'm sorry, but I just gotta say that. I don't like the vibe I'm getting from this video and how she appears in it and how she makes out other people to be. Right now, I don't know, this video seems kind of contradictory. We're talking about a selfish person, as James Charles is probably, at least in my opinion, he is. Judging by his videos and how he acts, that's what I think. I'm not necessarily saying that. I cannot claim that he is a selfish person, he's just so bad. No, but that's what I get from him, from his image. Some people are like that. You gotta recognize that and you gotta move on from that, because this person is probably going to be like this maybe for the rest of his life. I don't know. That's what it is. You can argue if it's right or not. It's actually pretty questionable. Some people say you have to love yourself over others. Some people don't think so. So at this moment he might be panicking. He might not even realize what the fuck happened, and maybe he recognized his mistake, but first he was trying to save his own image, and only after that he would apologize to you. You might argue this is shitty. I would say this is pretty shitty to me. I wouldn't like somebody treating me like this, but I would just end it. And that's it. Like, what she's saying now, it's not surprising me. Because of that, I am not going to start thinking about him as a devil. I recognize these people exist. I don't want to be in, you know, any relationship with them, and that's about it. I'm not going to talk about them. Oh, I met so many shitty fucking people, I wish they died, or I wish they changed somehow. No, they are just like that, and you can't tell them who to be. You might try to help them, might try to pretend to be a fucking Stockholm Syndrome victim, but that's not necessarily going to help people that are not even recognizing their traits as flaws. You think they're flaws, but in reality they might be not, and I'm getting all psychological on this, I'm sorry.
Someone that I cared for really not care for me and exhibit that. There was speculation when Shane Dawson came over to hang out with me, who I adore. I don't know terribly well. We've been talking for a couple of months. The day that he came over, where we were just playing with makeup, like, that had been planned for a very long time. We had been talking. That date had been set before all of this kicked up, and I just, like, I can't help but think that James Charles felt like that was somehow like some sneaky thing that happened, because his ego is so big that he will think that everything is about him. So that visit had nothing to do with me sneaking around and like...
Not really, it's just your opinion. Why are you even saying that?
I think it's important for you guys to know a little bit of the history that I have with James Charles. He contacted me through my DMs, you know, when he was first starting out. He was 17, he was wide-eyed and ready to make it on Instagram and social media, and, you know, he kind of had his YouTube channel going, but not really. And, you know, the first response I gave him was like, keep up the good work, or something like that, and then he came back, and he just has a way of saying the most gorgeous things that make you feel so special. So he always told me that I was the reason that he wanted to get into makeup, and I was the reason that he was inspired to start his channel, and that my channel was one of his favorites, and he just loved watching me.
And why are you assuming these are lies or something? She just said that he has this way of telling you the most gorgeous things. But what if he genuinely thinks that? Why, you can't inspire a selfish person? They have to be monsters without any feelings?
And I was constantly like, you're talented, you've got this, keep going. What do you need? How can I help you? I had a lot of influence at the time. You know, my channel was much bigger. Come on my channel. do my makeup. Like, I always envisioned that he would grow up. At some point, we'd kind of meet up as friends because he would be an adult. I wrapped as much love as I could around this kid, more from like a parental stance than like a best friend stance. You know,
honestly, in this video, as I said, she appears as a really nice person that just genuinely wanted to help him, just felt like motherly love. I'm just thinking how suddenly James becomes so bad that all this time it wasn't really a problem to her. She excused this behavior as, what did she say? He's just a kid, right? And he will change. Well, there was no guarantee to that, girl, so I don't know if you should blame her, yourself or him for that, because this is just a way he is. I'm not really sure, you see, like, what exactly is she blaming him for? For not repaying her, for not being her nice friend? I understand that at some point, but then again, I don't feel like this needs to be public. This is really your personal relationship. And she literally spent so much time explaining how good she is to him and that he wasn't as good to her back, that I just don't feel right about this video, because for example, I can't blame people for not being like me. I also appear to be selfless to other people. I like when people like me, and I like being helpful, useful to people, and also I like having relationship with benefits. No, not really like real friendship, but kind of a friendship with benefits. I don't know how to explain this, and I personally feel like it's fine. You don't have to be all, best friends with every single person you know. I understand you don't like people like this, but then again, it's kind of personal. Don't really get the, oh, he was just a teenager thing as an argument or an excuse here, because he's still a teenager, he's still 19 years old, which is pretty young, not exactly an adult, not like even 21 years old. He's still learning, so why exactly did you decide to stop supporting him now if it's not for the pills? Let's be honest, you wanted him to change from the get-go. You thought, hey, I will be his like mom, and I will help him, and I will change him, and he will be a nice person.
I've promoted him, I've supported him, I've put him in so many videos.
Yeah,
Every
you're a
time
nice
that
person.
I pull up a
We
Morphe
know.
item, I always say use code James, because I wanted him to make it and make enough money to feel like he had the resources to do what he really wanted to do with the creative videos that he always envisioned making. And that's why at the Halo launch I got so emotional.
If it is creating content that we are all emulating right now, James Charles, you are changing everything. I love you so much.
I was from the pit of my guts so proud. So proud. In Gabriel's video, something that I thought was really offensive was the insinuation that my relationship with James Charles was transactional, and that I would be crazy to think that I had an exclusive with him when it came to my vitamins. And for someone that I helped when no one would, asking for absolutely nothing in return, never asking for a payback, never asking for a dime, any of the deals that were structured, if anyone ever offered a kickback, we'd say no, put it in James's pocket, help James.
Yeah, you are a good person, but now you are kind of asking for a repayment. I mean, you're bitching about not getting the repayment. If you are such a nice and kind person that genuinely just wanted to help him to build his career and did not expect him to be grateful for that, then why the hell do you even need him to be grateful? I don't get it. So you want him to be grateful or not?
My relationship with James Charles is not transactional. I have not asked him for a penny. I've never been on his Instagram. We had a mini falling out after the Jaclyn Hill launch party. Everybody was over at my house. We were all talking. Things were said that I cannot unhear.
Okay.
At my dining room table, I cannot unhear it. When I confronted him on it, he cried, he apologized. I have so much empathy.
Here, she states something that I don't even fucking understand. She says that there were things said that cannot be unheard. What are you talking about exactly? So she continues with accusing him of some serious shit, and I don't even understand what she's talking about here. I don't see the evidence. I don't see nothing. The situation is not even clarified or, I don't know, even proved to be true. I don't know. Maybe you're just making it up because you're mad at him. Like, how the fuck would I know? Everybody takes her word as it is just because they already didn't like James. And I understand that his character is not the best. But is it really that bad as she makes him be? I'm not sure about that.
For people, and I really want to see people grow and step into themselves, and I'm more the person to ask, like, well, what made you feel that you needed to do XYZ? Like, what happened to you? Or like, why do you feel like you need to do that?
I am like this too. That's why I'm questioning every single word you say right now.
I'm not perfect, but I have a desire to do better all of the time, and I have a desire to grow and step into myself more and more and more. And this life means so much to me, and I know that it's not just this. So my actions and my integrity mean so much. I need to know my truths, and we all know where we're messing up. We all know where we're bending things to be in our favor. And that being said, I can't be the person to point and write people off very quickly. Like, it takes a lot for me to really want to not be associated with someone. And so I've always had a really forgiving heart because I know to get here, I've required a lot of forgiveness myself. So we sorted our stuff out. You know, I had mentioned to him that, you know, it did kind of suck that he had never had me on his channel. And it's just really funny that we didn't end up collabing until it was in his favor. So he was popping off online about exposing the beauty community and doing a docuseries. And I was like, no. How entitled do you have to be to think that you have it rough? You are a 19-year-old millionaire. You do not get to wake up and, you know, stress out about how unfair your job is. Like, that's just so ridiculous to me. So after hours and hours and hours and hours and hours and hours and hours of talk, he arrived at the decision to not do it. I was like, it's going to be like the downfall of your career. Don't do it. Like, don't expose the community, because
he wanted to expose something. Again, we don't understand what the hell she's talking about here. So her whole video is pretty confusing to me. She makes it seem like she's completely in the right and he's in the wrong, without bringing up actual evidence that much. That's my problem with it mainly, I think, because I understand her, I understand her point. I am also very analyzing of people's behavior. I feel like she already knew what kind of person he was, but she wanted to change him into something he wasn't from the very start.
you're part of the community. Like, do you think you're better than everyone? Because you're not. I think something that I'm really, really big on is respect. And it was really hard to see the way he was treating Marlena from Makeup Geek. Like, I did not like that.
I don't know the situation.
I also don't think that it's cool to publicly shame a woman who paved the way. Get off your high horse and have some respect. You don't have any for the people who are in this industry longer than you, and that's the sad fact.
I would rather tell him that it's not good to accuse somebody now because, well, first of all, it's not your business. Second of all, you might change your mind in a few, like, even months, not even years, in months, because you are growing up and you will change your opinion and your view on different things. I would explain to him that some things are questionable and that you are not in the right here nor in the wrong, so it's better not to call out people on that, much less insult them or, you know, being all sarcastic to them, because you are an influencer now. If he was amongst his friends, he would talk about that. It would be just his opinion, but as an influencer, yeah, that kind of sucks. But having respect for people just because they have been in the industry for a longer time, not sure why exactly.
One of the biggest reasons that I'm doing this video is because all of us are somehow forgetting that his audience is made up of 12 to 14-year-olds, like, dominantly, and he is role modeling to them his behavior.
Ain't nobody forgetting that.
Is what they are seeing and what they're emulating as how they should behave to be successful and adored by the masses. Everything's over-sexualized, and that's the huge underlayer to this all that I finally have had.
You know, I have had enough of the fact that we have to change our content to appeal to fucking kids that shouldn't be on the internet. I'm all for fucking electronic passports, if you ask me, so that people younger than 18 years old can't even access the internet. That would be amazing, you know what? Because why, for example, am I not allowed to make sexual jokes if I want to? As long as I don't attack anyone, why the fuck shouldn't I? I should care about my audience, but well, what if I don't want my audience to be made out of 12-year-olds? What if I think that 12-year-olds are not even supposed to be watching YouTube? Because they can't even pick for themselves what video to watch, and they can be influenced by anyone, so what? Should we all be family friendly now? Maybe 12-year-olds shouldn't be watching those videos. Maybe their parents should watch what they're watching, you know?
Enough. The last phone conversation that James Charles and I had, he said some things telling me about a situation that happened in Seattle at my birthday, and it literally made me want to vomit. Oh my god, you tried to trick a straight man into thinking he's gay yet again, and somehow you're the victim. You know, it's really disgusting to manipulate someone's sexuality, especially when they are still, you know,
Here I just lost it, because why? What? Where? When? What the fuck even happened? She says such a serious thing. He was manipulating a straight man into thinking he is gay? Again, where's the evidence? Where's any fucking proof to that? To those words? Because I'm sorry, this is serious. I feel like people should be maybe even go to prison for this shit, or at least like pay some bill. I don't know. That sounds pretty serious, to accuse somebody of that. Don't just throw such information in people's faces and pretend like it's true without any evidence, girl, because people trust you. They really do. Your audience, they are just going to take your word for it. And this will escalate so quickly you can't imagine. And I am just watching now and thinking if it's even true. But other people would be like, oh, Tati says so, that must be true. You just said that he's an influencer and he has this 12-year-old audience. Well, but you are now ending his career with your own assumptions about him. And I heard another person, that Gabriel guy, saying that this was not even the case at all. So where's the lie? Like, now I'm not even sure. And to me, I'd rather believe him than you here, because I can't imagine a person trying to change somebody's sexuality like this. Like, you have to be so full of yourself and such an idiot to do that. I'm not saying it's necessarily a lie, but to me, I need evidence for such a claim. This is so serious.
Merging into adulthood and don't quite have everything figured out. You are using your fame, your power, your money to play with people's emotions. You're threatening
How
to ruin
exactly,
them.
though?
You're threatening to embarrass them, and you're doing that to have them behave sexually in your...
You know, when people make statements and pretend like it's true, and therefore making their audience to absolutely believe their words because of how they present their idea. So she presents this idea like it's the absolute truth without providing any evidence. I have a problem with that. I saw other people being exposed, but at least, you know, those who exposed them had some screenshots, some evidence, some witnesses, and what you're saying are just bare words. I don't even understand you. What is going on?
I was shocked that James even then was saying to his dad that every man is a little bit gay and that there's no such thing as a straight man. And, you know, his dad's like, you're wrong, James, you're wrong. If someone who is very masculine and has been with women decides that they're bisexual, that they want to explore, that's fine, like, so be it. But again, it's just like, it's not yours to take. So talking about that...
That just sounded like a joke to me.
Explicitly about sex and things that he would like to do. And I mean, like, I was just like, I was like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. Like, I'm used to this around, you know, everyone else, but not his parents. Like, I thought around his parents that he would not behave this way. Like, it was just like, no big deal. Like, sucking dick and cock. Like, I'm just like, oh my God, time and place. And you did it at my birthday dinner.
Kind of.
And I made excuses for you then. You were talking in detail about things you wanted to do to the waiter. And when I said, James, he's straight, your response was, doesn't matter, I'm a celebrity. So freaking
That
gross.
is
And you
probably
said
a
that in front of my
joke.
family, in front of my childhood friends.
I mean,
I had to call everyone...
he's inappropriate, yes, but if he's actually ready to pay money to a straight waiter to become a gay for one night, that's really questionable. That's actually probably just a joke. I mean, it might be, it might not be.
So I'm so sorry that my camera stopped working, but there's really little left to say about this. I still stand by what I say. I feel like they are both pretty childish right now, but I would expect more from Tati, not to become so, I don't know, immature as to create this video where she was accusing him or some things like being overly sexual, inappropriate and stuff like this, because I feel like it's just uncalled for. If you just wanted to end your friendship with somebody, you should just say so. You might say I'm wrong, but this is what I feel. This is my personal opinion. It's just that she's had enough with him and she decided to let it all out. And I feel like she said some things that should just be discussed with your family and friends and not being out in public. This is truly your opinion. Just like I said, being overly sexual even is not itself such a problem. Like, to me, it's not. It's just, I make sexual jokes all the time, so I don't fucking care. Obviously not in front of my family, but he's going to learn. If you wanted him to learn, try to tell him how to act. If he doesn't listen to you, give it up. You're literally not his mom, you're not his probably not his role model or whatever. He's ungrateful, so end this unhealthy and toxic relationship. That's all you gotta do. You don't have to talk about waiters and sucking cock and what. It was really uncalled for, in my opinion. And as I said, I don't even like James. I don't even watch his channel that much. I am subscribed to him, but I literally don't watch my subscriptions. I'm just basically watching recommendations, and he's never there because I literally don't watch his channel. Even though I personally find him pretty fake and too scripty, and I don't like that. I don't really like him being fast. It's pretty difficult for me to watch his content sometimes, so I don't really like him. But I also don't think he's such a monster who isn't capable of feelings towards his friends and that he's using everybody around him like Tati makes him out to be in her video. I mean, she knows him better than I do, but also somehow people take her word as the holy truth, and I have a problem with that. Let me know in the comments if I am wrong. You probably think so, because I feel like everybody supports that Tati woman, but I'm not sure. Leave your comments below. Who do you support? Who do you think is right? Who is wrong? And check the links below. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.